Welcome to another video, Walk on the Wild Side, and I am here in Blackpool. I'm just in the town centre. This is Springfield Road, and I'm just heading to the Promenade because I want to do a bit of an update video on Middle Walk. I've done a few videos on it in the past. It's a stretch of promenade that runs from, well, you see the Imperial Hotel here, closed to paying guests. So it runs pretty much from there all the way up to Ginn Square. Now, access to Middle Walk in the last year was restricted, so it's not as easy to get onto as what it used to be unless you're joining it at either end, which I'm going to do. So what I thought I'd do is I'd take a little look down there and see what's going on. Now, it has fallen on hard times. In fact, we go back a few decades, the place Middle Walk started off as quite a swanky kind of place to walk, you know, middle class walking area along the promenade, fancy colonnade structures as well, designed by council architect J.C. Robinson, and it's really fallen on hard times in the latter part of the last century, really. You know, it's become a haven for alcohol abuse, drug abuse, and cruising as well. So I've done a few videos on it in the past, so let's see how it's looking today. So I'm just starting here on Springfield Road. That's the Baptist Tab. Look at that building there, isn't it awesome? The Baptist Tabernacle. So we'll leave that. We'll leave this behind. We've got a massive souvenir shop on the corner here. Springfield's. It's absolutely huge. They must have absolutely every souvenir going in a Blackpool in there, and there's plenty of other souvenir shops, isn't there? Anyway, there's a Metropole. I recently did a video on the Metropole as well. Yeah, if you want to check it out. It's been closed to paying guests for about 5 years. I think it was during the lockdown that they closed it all off. It used to be owned by Butlins in the olden days, the good old days. Look at that there, look. The only hotel that's actually on at Blackpool, a promenade. Look at that there, isn't it grand? Did a bit of work there as well. But anyway, I'm going to head over this way. I'm going to head over the road. Tell you what, it's pretty busy. Quite walk today as well. Yeah, you get a good view of the tower there. And who remembers the olden days when they didn't have this dividing section here between the road and the tram tracks, and the cars used to come down here along the tram tracks and used to do battle with the trams. It was like playing chicken with them as you drove along here and the tram came around this bend here. Yeah, that's what they used to do. The road used to come along here. That was the road. And then they put this, what would you call it? A median, not a median, like a dividing section in there to stop people driving onto the tram tracks. Because what used to happen is people would drive up the tram tracks, and if they managed to dodge a tram, they'd go straight up the tram tracks, and then they'd get stuck on the tram tracks then, and then they'd have to reverse. So that was I saw that happen quite a few times when I was driving up here, so it was quite easy to do. But now, as you can see, they've put this curb in place now. So it's not as easy to do. You can get across here if you want to get onto the promenade down here, but we're heading towards Middle Walk, which is just up here. We're going to get to it in just a second. I'll show you around before we head onto there. So we've got this block of flats here called Regent Court, and that's just on the corner of Bank Street. So if you go up that road there, it takes you into the town centre again. It takes you into the Pride Village where all the gay clubs and that are. So that's looking north. We'll have a look in a minute. We've got a building here. Has that got toilets in it, or is it just like an electric substation? I think it's just an electric substation. Just over here we've got Sunken Gardens and a crazy golf course. Let's have a little look, shall we? It's surrounded by this fern. I can't remember the name of it, but it grows really, really well. This fern here, and it's got a really nice flower on it, like red, or it turns red colour. But there's a crazy golf down there. Can you see that? So here's a sign here which tells you all about the history of Princess Parade and the Sunken Gardens there, look. So a little bit of history on the area for you there, and I'm going to show you the sea in a minute, but I just want to show you this here. We've got a sign up here. Now, they have quite a few of these around here, consumption of alcohol and the use of psychoactive substances. There's a lot of that going on around here. No begging, no use of trolleys for selling stuff, operating a charity, all that sort of stuff. Dogs must be kept on a lead at all times. Yes, it has been a bit of a problem round here. We've got shelters that run from the North Pier along Prince's Parade. All this was built around 1911 and 1912 around the hotel. And in the last, well, I would say probably 70s onwards, you know, when the decline started to happen in Blackpool, when people started to go elsewhere, and we had quite a lot of changes, of course, hotels closing, all that sort of thing, and people started to drink around it. In fact, I think I can see some beer monsters down here now, so I won't bother. I just saw them carrying loads and loads of bags of beer. So here's a little look at the view. We're quite high up here as well. You know, the promenade does raise up quite a bit here. We've got an old ramp going down there, a cobbled, would you call them cobbled or would you call them sets, going down to the lower promenade there. And check out this old railing here, look. Look at the old railings. Hey? I wonder how far these go back, these ones here. But we're just coming up to Middle Walk now. It's just up here. This is Middle Walk here. We've also got these old, like, lamp posts as well. I wonder if these contain the old Blackpool illuminations in the olden days when Blackpool was one of the first places to get electric street lighting. I just wonder whether these are some of the original lights. What do you think? So let's have a little look down here. There you go, it's a massive promenade down. There's a lot of space down there. And just down here we can see Lower Walk. That's Lower Walk. So just over here we've got Middle Walk. Middle Walk kind of splits the Lower Walk and the main promenade. This is Middle Walk right here. We're going to head onto it now. I'll tell you what, the seagulls are going absolutely mental. When I was in the town before, they were going absolutely crazy. They must be nesting at the moment, making a right racket. Just over there we've got Bowie's Lodge. It's a pet-friendly hotel. If you want to bring your pet, your dog, whatever, to Blackpool, you might want to try Bowie's Lodge. But here we are now, pedestrian zone. No motorcycles or cars, except for permit holders. So if you're fishing, you can come down here. You can drive your car down here. They use it for events and all that sort of thing. They running events down here. They do bus driver of the year competition goes on down here, so it does get used for quite a lot of stuff, but it has kind of got a little bit, as you can see, it's we're just at the beginnings of it here, but it has got a little bit run down over the past few decades. Now, I can't tell if the tide's coming in or going out. It's a really, really calm day today as well. It's quite mild as well. The temperature's warming up, and so I'm just heading along Middle Walk now. And like I say, in the olden days, when this opened, 1926, it was very popular with the middle classes, because if you think back to the olden days of Blackpool, Blackpool started off as a middle class resort, but when the working classes got money and when the railway came here in about, what was it, 1855 or something like that, the working classes flooded in and they all mixed. But this part of Blackpool, the North Pier was a middle class pier. You had to pay to go on it. That's why they built the other piers, so that they were cheaper, so people could go on for free. But up here, it was for the upper classes up here, and they'd walk along here, along Middle Walk here, all dressed up, you know, with top hat. If you look at the old pictures, you'll see the old pictures where they're all dressed up, you know. So, but that was in the olden days. That was then. This is now. So we do have the Beach Patrol headquarters here. It's like a cantilevered structure, this, because the promenade up there hangs over the top. And we've got these columns as well. I'll show you them in a minute. But we've got another sign there. Look, that's the same sign as what we saw before. We've got a little quad there. That must be fun to ride that, mustn't it? They usually ride these around to tell people when the tide's coming in, you know, so people don't get stuck. But I'll tell you what we'll do. This is the bit that I was talking about. They've closed off the access in some parts. And I think this bit was closed off last time I came, but no, I might be wrong actually. I'm not sure if I can get out up here, but we're now actually underneath the footpath we're underneath the footpath now, and like I said, I've done quite a few videos on this before, and there is a certain smell that you get down here, which you'll be glad that you can't smell it. But we've got these structures here which are like really nice sort of viewing platforms with the columns and everything, and they've got the ramp in there where you can get up to the promenade, but that one's closed off, as you can see. How are you doing? You okay? So this one's closed.
How are you?
Not too bad, thanks.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, will do. Thank you.
For the entertainment. You're great.
Thanks very much. I'm just waving at someone up there on the promenade, recognise me. Yeah, so this one here is closed off, and we've got these containers. I don't know what's in these containers, but I think it's because obviously they're not very safe. They haven't really been looked after, and structurally they're crumbling, and this is why there is one that's open down here. I'm going to see if that one is still open actually, because they did have one that was open. Because if you're up there on the promenade, I can just see a tram going past now, and you're coming out of a hotel up here, well, the only way you can get down to here, and it's quite a long way, it's about 3/4 of a mile to the very end from where I started over there. It's a long way. It is a long way. So all this, see underneath there, this is where people would come to drink and that, and just be a nuisance really. I remember in the olden days, yeah, I remember back in I think it was about the late 80s, maybe an early 90s or something like that. In the Gazette, that was when you used to buy a paper that was printed, an evening paper, a local paper, the Evening Gazette. And honestly, there never a week went by where there wasn't a story of someone being attacked down here, and the times of the attacks were usually stupid hours, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, yeah, well that's the thing, you see. There are rules of stupid. Never do stupid things with stupid people in stupid places at stupid times. The more of those boxes that you tick, the more chance you've got of getting into trouble. But do as I say and not as I do, because I think a lot of you watching this, if you're used to watching my channel, you'll know that I've broken quite a few of those rules of stupid. But anyway, we're going to carry on now, and we've got this one here which is completely closed off, and it looks like it's been jacked up. Can you see? Look at that there, it's all jacked up, isn't it? So this one here might have been in danger of collapsing. What do you think? And it's been like this since, well, I would say about 18 months, I think. So as you can see, we've got a fence going all the way along. I think we can get up the next one. So if I can get up the next one, we'll go up there and we'll see where it brings us out. I think it brings us out at the Imperial. So there aren't any gardens along here, it's just crazy paving. I don't think there ever was any gardens along here, but if we look at what's growing, it's just weeds. Some of these weeds are actually quite nice actually when they flower. What do you think? And we've got this bit here, which it looks a bit like it might have been like I don't know, like a grandstand or something, maybe if they had oh, I can hear sirens, it's kicking off in Blackpool. So I can see the Imperial Hotel up there. Let's head up here now and have a look at the Imperial, shall we? There you go, look at that there. Isn't it amazing what grows where there's neglect? So let's head up here, shall we? I can hear the tide coming in very gently. Yeah, I'm getting that smell again. Oh, it's pretty strong here, folks. But this is going to bring us out at the Imperial. It's an amazing structure though. Here we are. Back onto the promenade again. And as we look this way, there you go. The Imperial Hotel. That was around 1865. The Imperial, lots and lots of very famous guests and important world figures have stayed there. Winston Churchill, Margaret Thatcher, even Charles Dickens stayed at the Imperial in its early days. Yeah, so we'll carry on. So I came down, well I came up here. So we've got this viewing area, just look at that there. It's a nice veranda, isn't it? Well, I'll tell you what, the tide is coming right in now. Look at this, we've got a cracking view from up here. We're pretty high up now on the main promenade, looking down on Middle Walk and Lower Walk, just down there where they're doing some fishing. I spoke to a guy who's going to do some fishing before. Yeah, I've just been speaking to a really nice couple as well. I think they were from Wigan, and the guy was an entertainer. He said he worked at the Metropole, and he was talking, reminiscing about the olden days and saying that Blackpool is not, you know, it's not like it used to be. Well, it isn't, is it really? But anyway, I'm going to leave it there now, and that was a little update on the Middle Walk. You can get down here just in front of the Imperial Hotel, but if you can't get down this way, then the only other way to go is where I joined up there, or way down there at Ginn Square. So there you go, I'll leave it there now. I hope you liked the video. If you do, hit the like button and also hit subscribe and tick the bell for notifications of new videos, and I'll see you again on the next one.